In the headlines, President Tinubu urges Nigerians to suspend protests, embrace dialogue. Reactions trail President Tinubu's address as protesters vow to continue. NDLEA intercepts multiple United Kingdom-bound drugs in baby food tins. And on the foreign scene, Israeli forces bomb Al-Aqsa Hospital school in Gaza. Update on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to suspend the End Bad Governance protests and embrace dialogue. During a broadcast on Sunday, the president assured Nigerians that his administration is focused on good governance despite the socio-economic challenges confronting Africa's most populous nation. Tinubu expressed pain over the loss of lives and properties in some states during the nationwide protests, saying the destruction of public and private assets sets the nation back, as scarce resources will be again used to restore them. He also commiserated with the families and relations of those who died in the protests. The president said his administration won't allow a few politically minded people to tear down the country under the guise of protests.
My fellow Nigerians, I speak to you today with a heavy heart and sense of responsibility, aware of the turmoil and violent protests unleashed in some of our states. Notably, among the protesters were young Nigerians who desired a better and more progressive country where their dreams, hope, and personal aspiration will be fulfilled. I am especially pained by the loss of lives in Borno, Jigawa, Kano, Kaduna, and other states, the destruction of facilities in some states, and the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops, contrary to the promise of protest organizers that the protest will be peaceful across the country. Under the circumstances, I hereby enjoin protesters and the organizers to suspend any further protest and create room for dialogue, which I have always acceded to at the slightest opportunity. Nigeria requires all hands on deck and need us all, regardless of age, party, tribe, religion, or other divides, to work together, reshaping our destiny as a nation. To those who have taken undue advantage of this situation to threaten any section of this country, be warned. The law will catch up with you.
Meanwhile, residents of Abuja have expressed mixed reactions to President Bola Tinubu's Sunday address regarding the ongoing nationwide protests. In early Sunday morning address, President Tinubu stated his administration is ready to listen and address the concerns of protesters. Despite this, Nigerians have expressed varying responses to the broadcast. Dokas Yakubu completes the report.
Mixed reactions followed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's nationwide address on Sunday, August 4, 2024. The address tackled the ongoing #End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest and outlined the administration's response to pressing national challenges. While some Abuja residents applauded the president, they noted that the speech failed to address the core demands of the protesters.
Yeah, he really spoke so well because the way I listened to the broadcast, he spoke well, and by the grace of God, things will be better. Let's all give him time. He spoke, but he didn't address what people are protesting for. He just talked about the nano business loan and other things, and student loan that is ongoing. but he didn't talk about the main issue, about the protest. My call on the president is for him to do something about the hunger protest. Honestly, people are suffering.
No, there's no need for dialogue. Talk about what? I don't understand. What are you going to talk? Implement the necessary things that is required. We want judicial reforms. Yeah? We want the electoral reforms to be enacted and implemented so that next time you don't have to go analog in reading reports. We want to see the report live. Enact those laws. There's no need for discussion for that. Just do it. It's as simple as that.
I first of all appreciate I thank our president for him coming out today, but I expect for him to hear more from the masses, like what really the voice of the people. Then 3 or few days to the end, the deadline we give, then he would have come out with ideas and solutions to put on Nigerians, to buy the minds of the citizens, so that we make people more happy and know that yes, our president communicates.
If you want us to end the protest, he should listen to our demand, and he should listen to the voice of Nigeria, because we are all one. We are just here for peace. It's peace protest, right? So if he wants us to end the protest, he should listen to our demand, because we are all humans. So we are not going to fight. He should just do what we ask him to do.
While the president has called for dialogue and an immediate end to the nationwide protest, Abuja residents are urging the administration to swiftly address the protesters' demands. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
On the fourth day of nationwide protests, near normalcy began to return to Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, on Sunday. Again, Trust TV's Dorcas Yakubu has a situation report.
The Moshood Abiola Stadium, the designated protest venue and the three-armed zone where Eagle Square is located, appear deserted as the nationwide protests slow down. At the time of this report, only a few trucks of security operatives were spotted with no protesters in sight. While many streets remained empty, there were more commuters and commercial vehicles than in the first 3 days of the protest. Protest organizers had announced daily demonstrations until August 10th. However, it is uncertain if the protest will continue until the scheduled end date. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
We move away from the FCT now. Hundreds of Christian faithful participating in the nationwide protest against hunger in Jos held a church service on Sunday at Old Airport Junction, venue of the nationwide protest in the state. The church service witnessed a display of unity as Muslims watched over their Christian counterparts during the service, reciprocating the kindness shown to them by Christians on Friday during Jumat prayer in the state. Ado Musa completes the report.
Day 4 of the protest in the state began with a church service where Christian faithful gathered in large numbers at the venue of the protest.
Sickness in your body, I command that sickness to melt right now.
Soon after the completion of the church service, organizers of the protest responded to President Tinubu's broadcast to the nation, insisting that his speech failed to address grievances raised by Nigerians.
The president did not appeal to the protesters. He only threatened the protesters and called on the security agencies to continue with the clampdown and shooting and killings. The president's speech, my elder brother has said it all. The president did not say anything, and he did not even talk to Nigerians, but he was talking to himself and the members of his cabinet. All these things he said, the ministers told us this. All these things he said, the National Security Advisor told us this. All these things he said, the Minister of Information said it. So what did he say different?
They're asking him, hey, flood the nation with grains. Now he told us we have released fertilizer. Who saw fertilizer? Nobody. So if he has given to the governors, they know what they've done with it. He said he gave over 400 billion or so to be shared among the governors. Did you see anything? This is the reality.
Some of the protesters also explained why it was necessary to observe their church service at the venue of the protest.
I choose to come here for service today because of the way the country is turning into something else. We are students, we cannot afford our school fees and we cannot even afford food and the way the transportation and fuel subsidy. And we come here to pray for better Nigeria. Because we want a new Nigeria, we want change. I think we have gone to our churches so many times. This time around, we want to be united. And I think unity is everything, regardless of church.
In the protest, we do the service. Because on Friday we were here. So we are together with our Muslim brothers. So we prayed together with them, we guided them. So today is our own turn and they guided us as much. So it's combined. In the protest, we do the prayers. Because you cannot protest without the power of God. You cannot protest without the support of God. So we gather ourselves, both Muslim and Christian, here.
President Tinubu had in a nationwide broadcast called on Nigerians to shun the protest and embrace dialogue. From Jos, Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
And to the southwest region of the country, suspected hoodlums on Sunday chased away End Bad Governance protesters from the Freedom Park, Ojota in Lagos State. The protesters, who were scanty in numbers compared to the huge turnout since the beginning of the protest, were chased away after some of their leaders had withdrawn from the protest this morning, following the national broadcast of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where he called for dialogue. It was learned that while some leaders of the protesters agreed to call off the demonstration on Sunday morning, a few of them remained adamant and decided to continue the protest. One of the protesters, who identified herself as Martha, expressed dismay over the disruption of the protest. She said the hoodlums came here saying that the president has addressed the nation and sent people away. According to her, the funny thing was that some of the policemen did not do anything. They were watching us running away from nowhere after some of our leaders had left the protest ground. The peaceful protest in Ughelli, North local government area of Delta State, took another twist as policemen stationed at the Otowodo axis of the east-west road allegedly shot and injured a dispatcher in the area. The victim, identified as Kesta Eloho, being in his 20s, was said to be heading to Ughelli community for a delivery when the unfortunate incident occurred. Speaking to newsmen at his hospital bed, Kesta Eloho said he was waiting for a transporter to convey the package when he suddenly felt a strange object hit his left arm. Other security agents helped to rush the victim to one of the nearby hospitals to avoid cases of rejection by hospital authorities since it was a bullet wound.
Otowodo Junction, they shoot at police. Nigeria police and shoot at.
I was on my way to deliver this item to work. So getting to Otowodo Junction, it was peaceful at first. So I was waiting for a tricycle. So the ones I made were going halfway, so I decided to board the bike. So immediately I was about to board the bike, I felt something in my hand and my phone fell down. So the process I was about to pick my phone, my hand was shaking, so I had to move that I got injury. It happened before I shot the bed in Etobo. How did you get injured? What happened? How did you get injured? So it was a fly bullet in Nigeria police force.
And to the northwest region of the country, the Kano state government has relaxed the curfew imposed on the state following the violence that trailed the End Bad Governance protests. The State Commissioner for Information, Baba Dantier, disclosed this in an audio message on Saturday. He added that the curfew would be relaxed from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. He reiterated the state government's commitment to the protection of lives and properties of Kano residents. According to Dantier, the decision to relax the curfew is to enable people go about their normal businesses within the period. The commissioner also extended the condolence of the state governor, Abba Yusuf, to the families of the people that lost their lives. Food inflation is a critical issue in the country. Currently standing at above 40%, agricultural stakeholders, in reaction to the nationwide protest, identified delays in funding for agriculture as the primary cause of the high food inflation in the country. The report.
Nigeria is currently experiencing its worst food inflation in decades, exacerbated by weakening naira, high energy costs, massive post-harvest losses, insufficient domestic agricultural production, and an over-reliance on expensive imported food. According to NBS report, food inflation surged to 40.87% in the month of June, further reducing the purchasing power of many Nigerians. A recent field survey conducted by Action Aid Nigeria among smallholder women farmers revealed that their livelihoods is significantly hindered by several factors that include poor access to formal credit, insecurity, limited access to input and extension services, among others.
Food security. There are areas we can expand and increase the cost on. We are not able to meet our 10% Maputo declaration. So that is one. But the other part is, even when we budget for them, we are not able to ensure that they are released and they are effectively utilized. A 1 month or 2 months delay in the release of the budget, let me tell you the cycle how it affects it. So a 1 month or 2 months delay goes ahead to affect release of fertilizer, and the fertilizer comes at the wrong time when rainy seasons have already commenced, farming season has commenced. You are not able to then use them effectively in the soil. So it's natural, then the soil probably will not give you the adequate yield.
The president of Smallholder Women Farmers in the country, Fatima Bello Gumi, says the grievances of Nigerians are genuine and should be addressed accordingly.
Another major problem is the inflation, high cost of food that people will be able to purchase. And I think it is important that we need to show that we are not too happy, because it is very difficult for majority of people in the country to be able to afford 3 square meals. Not only 3 square meals, the quality of the food that people are taking nowadays is very, very poor.
Security has become a great problem we have in the country. Over the years, it has not been as bad as it is now. And we see that the government will need to salvage the situation immediately, because it is getting out of hand. And what we see, the major causes of the food insecurity in the country is that farmers cannot get to the farm to farm.
The cost of governance, cut down the amount that goes into governance. The National Assembly, cutting down the cost of running the National Assembly, cut down the last time the House of Rep members cut down their salaries by 50%, which is a good step, but that is way beyond what the citizens are looking for. So it's the allowances that is the main thing. It is the constituency projects, that the effective management of the constituency projects that is under their purview, ensure that corruption is dealt with, and most importantly, ensure that there's food security.
Nigerian farmers attributed low food production to insecurity, stating that resolving this issue would lead to increased food production.
This is a news update coming to you live from Trust Television studios in the nation's capital. Still to come. ECOWAS Parliament recommends adoption of regulations for plastic waste management. We'll bring you more news on return. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Let's have another look at some of our top stories. We told you that President Tinubu urges Nigerians to suspend protests, embrace dialogue. Plus, reactions trail President Tinubu's address as protesters vow to continue. Moving on to more stories. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted no less than 36 parcels of a strong strain of cannabis concealed in 6 cartons of tins of branded Nestle Cerelac baby food, with 6 containers in each package at the Sahakol Export Shed of Lagos Airport and at a courier firm in Lagos. In a statement on Sunday, spokesman of the agency, Femi Babafemi, said the operations, which was carried out on Wednesday, 31st July 2024, led to the recovery of the psychotropic substance, with a total weight of 18.50 kilograms. He said that a freight agent, Salauddin Suliat Abiola, who presented the consignment for export to the United Kingdom, was promptly arrested while a follow-up operation to Ibadan, Oyo State on Saturday, 3rd August, led to the arrest of the sender of the cargo, Bello Motunrayo Folu. Also, 5 different shipments of opioids and other psychoactive substances such as promethazine, pentazocine, diazepam, tramadol, and morphine concealed in clothes and other items meant for export to the United States and United Kingdom were equally intercepted by NDLEA operatives in Lagos State, while one of the shipments containing 820 grams of promethazine and pentazocine injections was going to the United States. The remaining 4 parcels, consisting of over 2 kilograms of opioids such as tramadol, 225 milligram, Molly, and NPS, were heading to the United Kingdom. Babafemi said they were all intercepted on Monday, 29 July, at a logistics company in Lagos. The ECOWAS Parliament Joint Committee on Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources, Energy and Mines, and Committee on Infrastructure has recommended that member states should adopt provisions that will effectively implement regulations on plastic product harmonization and environmentally sound plastic waste management. The recommendation is contained in a draft report adopted by committee members at the end of a delocalized meeting in Winneba, Ghana. The report.
Hours before it drew the curtains on this delocalized meeting in Winneba, Ghana, this joint parliamentary committee is hosting this town hall with the people of Efutu. The chief executive of this municipality is thankful to the ECOWAS Parliament for bringing the meeting once again to his people. He also recognizes the scale of the plastic waste challenge.
An example of devastating impact that plastic waste has is from fishery, aquaculture, and tourism, especially in the coastal community where many people live.
This town hall meeting has brought together political leaders in Efutu, traditional leaders, trade associations, and young people. The committee co-chair reassures them their comments and suggestions have been noted.
Take your time to put a separate container where anything that you use or you see as a waste in the family, you put it in that container, so that you will have plastic, you will have other forms of waste separately.
Back at the meeting venue, it is time to draw the curtains. The leader of Ghana's delegation to Parliament and third Deputy Speaker of the Parliament pays tribute to the experience and expertise of his colleagues and experts who attended this meeting.
The various stakeholders and experts have provided us with practical insight and inspiration to adopt in the different member states of ECOWAS and scale these initiatives within our respective communities.
This committee is encouraging states to build capacities of populations and civil society organizations in fighting plastic waste. This is because Africa is estimated to be the second largest source of plastic pollution in oceans from rivers, contributing 7.8% after Asia. The report also recommends that the ECOWAS authority instructs governments to create funds dedicated to organizing a circular economy for plastic waste treatment.
And to developments away from Nigeria, Israeli forces have bombed tents housing displaced Palestinians in the yard of Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in Deir el-Balah, killing at least 3 and wounding 18 others. The attack came hours after a strike on a Gaza City school turned shelter killed 17 people. At least 39,550 people have been killed and 91,280 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. An estimated 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks on October 7, and more than 200 were taken captive. And finally, in sports news, Nigeria sprinter Favour Ughelli has qualified for the semi-final of women's 200 meters race at the ongoing Paris Olympics Games. Bouncing back from her non-registration in the 100-meter event, Ughelli executed a good race plan to win heat 6 in a time of 22.24 seconds. The 21-year-old defeated Great Britain's Dina Asher-Smith, who finished second in 22.28 seconds, and Gina Abbas-Bitaye third in 22.84 seconds. This is Favour Ughelli's chance to write her name in the annals of time after an unpardonable blunder made her to miss the 100-meter sprint. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour on Trust Television. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again.